Do you want to bring on our first guest?
Absolutely, because speaking of good times, many good times were had in this guy's restaurant. Alongside many of her girlfriends, she would travel there every Thursday night. And when she was in her old stomping grounds of Little Italy, she would stop in at Angelo's as well. She became very good friends with this guy and his wife, and wished them all of the best in their success when they became reality stars on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Please put your hands together and give a late night with Johnny P. remembering Big Ange. Welcome to the one and only Rino and Teresa Aprea.
Reno, how are you, buddy? Good to meet you. Take care. I'm sorry. Take care. You just got here. Comb your hair. Yeah. Oh. How you doing? All right?
Oh, look how nice, John. Look how nice he clips for his wife.
I'm clipping him.
He's clipping me.
That's it.
Clipping me.
You got some nice bling on there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So first of all, how was life after Jersey?
Interesting, calmer, a lot calmer, right, Reen?
I enjoyed it. So, you know, to me, I'm used to it. I'm around women all the time. My whole family's practically women. And then the restaurant
drama,
business, there's always
excitement.
drama. So, you know what? I felt like, why not just go national with this?
Okay, very
Good
cool.
for you.
When you hear the words Big Ange, what
Well,
comes to
let
mind?
me tell you, first you get the chills, and then you get the laughter, and then it all rolls down. Because I met Big Ange in 1988.
Wow.
And I met her when she was a B cup.
She was never a B cop.
Well, listen, I went through all the formations with Ange, you know, and it was always great. And I'll never forget, I was sitting at the restaurant, and all of a sudden, car pulls up as a convertible and gets out, and I go to my friend and go, "What's that? Or who's that?" And he goes, "That's Big Ange." I go, "Oh." I says, "No kidding." And she came in, introduced herself, and she called herself Ange. And the guy says, "No, you're Big Ange." She goes, "Big Ange." I said, "It's okay to call you Big Ange?" She goes, "Look at me. What do you think?" And we hit it off from then. I mean, she had for some bizarre reason, she took a real liking to me. You know, I mean, I'm a lovable guy.
Everybody loves Reno.
But she took a great liking to me, and I had such great memories with her.
Tell us one of your fondest memories.
Oh, I got
funny story.
She, you know, everybody that knows Ange knows that she's very colorful. She's very party. She's, you know, she's not reserved. You know, she's out there. She loves to enjoy and says like it is. So many stories. Come in, Reno, put the disco on, put it on. I said, Ange, I can't put it too loud. Oh, come on, get over it, you know. And I don't know. One day I don't know how the ceiling's only like 5'6" or something. Her and her friends, they're on the bar. They're dancing on the bar. I says, you know, she could start a party. I mean, she could start a party.
And I have to say, yeah, like when you ask about Big Ange, look, he's holding the mic.
No,
He
you don't
won't-
even need
he
the
won't-
mic. You got
He
the
won't
mic.
even give it
You
to
have
me.
your own mic.
Oh, I have my own mic. When you asked about her,
You get confused.
everything
That happens.
really was big about her. And I just think love. I think heart. I think, you know, being in the studio, first of all, it is freezing. Everyone's like, but everyone's so warm-hearted here. Being here tonight, I'm so blessed and grateful to be a part of this tribute to her and honoring her, because I remember her too back in the day from when I was 18 years old and going to the clubs with my girlfriends. Reno and I started dating, and what I saw in that, she was always a star in my eyes. She always made an impression as a young kid, being 17, 18, being in the club scene. Her and her girlfriends, I saw love, I saw loyalty, the friendships that they had, and fun. And I really always admired her and looked up to her. So even before reality TV, and she made it so big, and I was always so proud of what became of her. She was always a star, and I always looked up to her. In my eyes, and I could cry now. It's like, it's just so surreal seeing that she's not here, watching that footage. I'm just blessed to be here. And that's what I think of her, love and fun, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this.
One night, she came in from a flight from Vegas. They were filming the season of Mob Wives where they filmed in Vegas. And Neil and I picked her up at about 10:30 at night. It was all the way out, JFK. She gets in the car, and the first thing she looks at us and says, "I want to go to Ponte Vecchio." Just like that. And that was the first night she introduced me to Ponte Vecchio. This was
Yes, I remember
a
that.
few years back.
Yeah, that was.
And the food was unbelievable. What was Big Ange's favorite thing to eat? I know. I want you to tell.
Well, Big Ange, she loved the grilled octopus.
Absolutely.
And if
That's
I didn't
what
have-
I ordered that night.
I mean, she would come in at 12:30 at night, and I would have to get an octopus. I says, you know, I want to go home and get my wife's puss. I says, you know, never mind the octopus.
Good for you.
But she was, you know, I would look at the watch on Wednesday. You know, it all started. The Big Ange started coming to my place. It would always be a Wednesday. I would call it the witching hour of Big Ange. Anytime after 9:45, the posse and Ange could walk in at any time, and anything could happen.
She had a pack.
But the beauty of Ange, when she used to come to my place, she used to keep everything so organized because she traveled in a crowd, and you know what? She was always aware of what's going on around her. She was always considerate about my business and about people around. You know, she didn't just try to take over, and you know, she was just a kind, gentle giant.
No,
that's
she
what
was
she
generous
was.
too. She was a big
Oh,
tipper,
big heart,
right?
heart of gold. You know, I'll never
Very
forget.
generous.
Yeah.
We'll never forget. She went. You know, when she went on TV and came in, she goes, you know what? I have to give back now. And, you know, and that was one of her biggest things, that she had to give back. And I got to tell you, it was really an honor. And the tribute that she always did to me, you know, always, you know, promoting my restaurant, and you know, it was just amazing. And the one nice thing that you know, Ange was taken real early from us. You know, she was really taken way too early. We all know that. But one thing I was really excited about, that you know what, that she was able to get on TV. You know why? Because I think it's pretty selfish that the people of Brooklyn only know Big Ange. Yeah. And I think it was great that she got on that TV, and the
Worldwide,
whole
nationwide.
world
Yeah.
and nationwide got to see Big Ange.
I said she always had
Because
that
let me tell you,
factor.
that wasn't something that we had to keep among ourselves. That was something that the world needed to see. And I know there's somebody in Ohio and some Utah over there saying, this is not real.
And
we
I
know
appreciate
that
you coming
guys
down
have
and
let me
such a
tell you
connection.
something.
us
Thank you
out.
for
My
having
wife
us.
and
We're
I,
honored to be here.
we are really honored. I
Thank
mean,
you.
you know, when I got this call, I was like, you know something? I says, you know, that's really something, because she never forgot. And you know, I get choked up when I think about it, because you know what? You know, in the last days, I had a feeling I was somewhere, and I says, you know, I haven't seen Big Ange, because she told me she wasn't feeling too well. She was going back for something, and I ended up calling, and she ended up getting on the phone. It was like 5 or 6, 7 days. I don't know exactly when, but you know what? She goes, you know, Rino, she goes, I love you. And you know what? I just like really got really emotional, because I heard it in her voice.
Yep.
And you know what? She was an unbelievable grandmother. That's something that, you know, that people don't even know about Big Ange. They just see the party, the champagne, the lips, the boobs, and, you know, the makeup and the fur coats. But, you know, when I heard that, it was like, you know, those grandkids, my God, she lived and dreamed and did everything for them. And you know what? She's a wonderful woman. And you know what? She's never going to be forgotten in my heart and my wife's.
Never ever.
And with that,
Now listen,
we'll thank you.
that's your time. Where can people find you guys if they got to reach out to you? Is on social media.
Yes, well, Twitter, Rino Aprea.
Yeah.
Instagram, Teresa Aprea. I mean, we kept it simple.
And you have an
Facebook,
amazing
Twitter.
podcast that's
We
on
have
a little
a
hiatus for the summer.
podcast.
Girls in Heels.
Yep, Girls in Heels. You get on iTunes, Blog Talk Radio.
That sounds cool.
Thank
Absolutely,
you.
very
And
good.
I'm looking forward to seeing you soon.
You come, listen, we'll have a nice meal together. You bring Vinny, I'll sing my way, and Vinny will critique it.
You got it,
He's
buddy.
the best.
And I got to tell you, thank you so much for having us here.
It was great meeting you finally after all these years.
Right?
I heard a lot about you.
Thank you.
All right, what a great couple, huh?